to another episode. Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Welcome to another episode.
Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Welcome to a super special Cabernet Day episode of Stay Rad Wine Blog TV. And today I am blessed with two big boys, two samples of Cabernet. They just arrived yesterday. The one to, I'm not going to figure out which side of the screen it is. The one to my left is the Wild Horse 2010 Central Coast Cabernet Sauvignon. And the one to my right is the Franciscan Estate Napa Valley 2010 Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm really excited to dive into these, and I'm really excited about Cabernet Day. I'm seeing people all over the Twitter sphere, all over the interweb, talking about one of my favorite grapes. I think it's one of America's favorite grapes. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with the Wild Horse here. So this is a Central Coast AVA. Originally, Wild Horse, their Cabernet series, they would call it Paso Robles. But in this blend, starting this year, they are drawing 9% of their fruit from Monterey County. So now they're just putting this under the Central Coast label. The color here is pretty nice, pretty dark, dark red, almost purple. Looks like a cab, yeah. This one has a SRP of $20, and again, these are samples, just so you know. But it's looking nice, and on the nose, nice plum, nice blackberry, good oak there. Not overly aggressive, but just playing really nicely with those dark fruits on the nose. I'm getting like a little bit of green bell pepper. This is, it's 99% Cabernet Sauvignon, and they do have 1% Syrah in there as well, so kind of a different style of grape, but, I'm interested to see how that 1% kind of plays with the rest of that Cabernet that's in there. Yeah, it smells nice. A little bit of greenness, but mainly these big, ripe, dark fruits. Smells like it's going to be a good one, but let's get into this taste here. This has that dark fruit explosion that people love about Cabernet. I mean, there is this nice like red cherry component, but more than anything else, I'm just getting like these dark, brooding plums and blackberries. I am getting like a silkiness, a smoothness that almost speaks to it being more than a $20 bottle of wine. Let me get into this a little bit more here. Tannins are nice. The oak is nice. I think they're playing well together, and it is giving like a nice, good mouthfeel to this. This is definitely a steak wine. This is definitely a baked potato type of wine. This is big red meats, and I think this wine would go really well with that. Score-wise, I'm putting it in like the 89 point range right now, and definitely a very solid effort from Wild Horse, and I'm looking forward to enjoying a little bit more of this later on. But I do want to get into the Franciscan here. So again, this is the 2010 Napa Valley Franciscan Estates Cabernet Sauvignon. This one is 85% Cabernet Sauvignon, 11% Merlot, 3% Syrah, so that Syrah's coming back again, and then 1% Malbec in this. So aside from the Syrah, this is more like a big Bordeaux style blend. I was excited about the Franciscan just because I feel like I've got a little history with this wine. You guys have seen my dad on this show before, and he's not the guy who's that big into red wines. He's more of a buttery Chardonnay type of guy. But I remember asking him, back in the day, can you remember like the first wine that you really, really loved? And he said that one day he was driving through Napa and they stopped over at Franciscan and he had a tasting there and was just really in love with their Cabernet. I wish I could kind of pinpoint the year that was. Dad, if you're watching, leave a comment below, let us know. And then I have visited that place before. The first time I ever had a Franciscan Cabernet was actually the 2007 vintage. And the reason why I picked it up, I picked up 2 bottles because I had saw that the Wine Enthusiast, I'm pretty sure it was Wine Enthusiast, gave him a 94. And this was for at the time, a $20 bottle of wine. Today, the SRP is $28. But I'm sure you could find it in that mid to low $20 range if you're shopping around. And I just remember thinking 94 points for 20 bucks. I mean, this has to be the wine of the century. I picked it up and I was excited by it. I mean, it tasted really good. It was more like a 92 to me, which is a fantastic wine. I just feel like, Wine Enthusiast pimped it a little bit too hard, and I was kind of bummed out about that. I did swing by the winery around this time last year, and I tried the 2008 Cabernet, and that was some tasty stuff too. I gave that one an 89 at the time, and I am kind of excited to see what's happening in the 2010. This is just released and in the process of being released, so if it's not in your stores yet, it should be there within a week or so. So I really am excited to get kind of a sneak preview on this one. And so this is essentially their house wine, their entry-level Cabernet Sauvignon. And I was reading up on the winemaking techniques. Franciscan prides themselves in doing like small lot winemaking. The majority of this fruit comes from their Oakville estate that they do break up into different lots, into different parcels, and they ferment them and they age them individually and then kind of bring the best of those lots together to get this stuff right here. I think they're putting 20 months on oak, 25% new, and they say small oak barrels. I'm not sure if it's, what constitutes a small oak barrel, but we are going to expect that there is a little bit more wood imparted in on this. But let's take a look. Color-wise, these guys are pretty much the same. I would say maybe the Franciscan is a little bit more, little bit less translucent. It's not letting as much light pass through, but around that same color, this dark red to purple color. And on the nose, there definitely is a whole lot more oak up front. There is a sweetness to it. There is a little bit of like a chalky vanilla thing going on. And the fruits, they are a little bit muted by the oak. This is, of course, a really young wine just being released, so you would assume that a lot of that's going to go away and more of the fruit is going to start to peak over the next couple of years. I am getting those, typical plum and cassis type of notes on the nose, and let's just dive into this thing. Sometimes all it has to do is pass through your lips, and in a second, that front palate right there, it's just classic Napa Cabernet with this depth of dark fruit, that silky texture, this great body and structure. The oak is definitely there. The oak is definitely apparent, but it's not overpowering in any way at all. These oaky type of sweet, kind of like American oak type of flavor to me. And I don't think they say what kind of oak it is on this one. Um, but it is, it is bringing something to the table there. Let me try to pick out some of these fruits for you, because I was just kind of overwhelmed by the package when it came in. It's definitely tasted nice here. Got that plum and cassis. Got that chalkiness that I really like. There is a little bit of a vegetal component there, but I think this wine right now where it's at, it is waiting to kind of figure itself out. I think, a couple years in the bottle is really going to marry these flavors together a little bit more. I mean, it is slightly austere right now. Some of these flavors aren't playing that well together, but I mean, that just initial explosion is fantastic. And this is one of those wines where you kind of look at it and you see where it's going. And I see this going to some great places right here. Right now, my initial impression is I'm putting this like right at that 90-point level right there. But I can really see it peaking and building up steam over the next like 2-3 years. I think it's going to be one of those drink now if you want to, but it does have the structure to go longer. I mean, I think 3 years it's going to start looking really nice. I think 5 to 7 is going to be legit, and I am looking forward to trying this down the road. So right now a 90-pointer, but I really think that it can get up into that 91, 92 point range within a couple years. And so I am looking forward to going back into this one. Yeah, I'm excited about this stuff. I hope all of you are finding a nice bottle to dive into tonight, hoping you are honoring the noble grape of California, Cabernet. And I hope you're reading what other people have to write about different Cabernets today. Hashtag Cabernet Day. And I hope you guys are just liking it. What the heck is going on with my hair right now? I guess that's the question all the time. Thanks for watching. Everybody stay rad.
Stay rad, one blog, stay rad, one blog.